Kasama Airport has been upgraded and will soon be opening its doors to travelers. Explore Kasama through your gateway to possibilities. Zambia Airports Corporation Limited. Keep flying.
Wow, that over there is a very nice Ford. Have you seen it?
Of course. I have been looking at it since we got here. My worry is how people manage such vehicles and where they buy genuine parts from.
I'm sure there's nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, aircon filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening with the news at 18:30. My name is Judith MWAPE. The headlines. 11-month-old baby dies in an inferno. No Zambians are among the casualties in Morocco earthquake. Kenyan baby stealer jailed for 25 years after BBC expose. And now the news in detail. Fire has claimed the life of an 11-month-old baby boy in Lusaka's Garden House compound. The baby died whilst receiving treatment at Matero Level 1 Hospital after a 2-roomed house belonging to Bernard Ngulube of Big Ben area was gutted by fire. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga has also disclosed that household goods valued at 12,000 kwacha have been burnt to ashes. Mr. Hamonga says this occurred yesterday around 11 hours. He said brief facts of the matter are that the reporter left home for a walk, whilst his wife, Falesi Ngulube, aged 30, went to fetch water, leaving the now deceased sleeping in the house. Mr. Hamonga says the cause of the fire was a brazier that was left in the house and the scene was visited and an inquiry file has been opened.
Brief facts of the matter are that the reporter left home for a walk whilst his wife, Falesi, aged 30, went to fetch water, leaving the now deceased sleeping in the house. The cause of the fire was a brazier that was left in the house. The baby was later rushed to Mateo Level 1 Hospital where it died whilst receiving treatment. The scene was visited by police and an inquiry file has been opened.
Mr. Hamonga said in another development, Plainview Police Post yesterday at 19:20 hours received a report from Joyce Ngoma, aged 39, of Garden House compound that her young brother, Oliver Chilekwa, who was earlier assaulted by a mob, died whilst receiving medication at home.
The reporter saw a video on Facebook in which his brother, Oliver Chilekwa, who was mentally retarded, being beaten by a mob of people who accused him of being a witch. She later managed to locate him at Kanyama Level 1 Hospital where he was receiving treatment. He had a cut on the head and he was complaining of general body pains. He was discharged the same day and taken to Linda compound at his sister's place where he continued taking medication. He later died from home and his body was conveyed to University Teaching Hospital mortuary awaiting postmortem and burial.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has disclosed that no Zambians are among the casualties following the devastating earthquake that occurred on Friday, 8th September 2023 in Morocco. The official death figures nationwide had reached 2,901 by Tuesday, 12th September 2023, and over 5,500 injuries were also registered, making it one of the most devastating natural disasters in that country's history. Minister in charge, Stanley Kakubo, has told Parliament that Marrakesh, which is the nearest city to the quake's epicenter, has 19 Zambian students, and urgent efforts were made to ensure their safety. Mr. Kakubo added that no damages were reported to have affected the Zambian residents. The Zambian population in Morocco is mainly made up of students, and there were about 314 Zambian students registered with the embassy in a number of cities of Morocco during 2023. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair is in the country and attending high-level meetings at the ongoing Pan-African Digital Government Summit. Mr. Blair arrived at the Digitech Summit venue in Lusaka, Bonanza Ciela, at about 12 hours. Technology and Science Minister Felix Mutati received Mr. Blair and immediately proceeded for a convened closed-door bilateral meeting to discuss various developmental programs and solutions that will support the digital transformation landscape for economic strides and improved livelihoods. In attendance at a former premier-led meeting also included ministers from Rwanda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. Sierra Leone and Senegal were among other countries enclosed in the VIP meeting. Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa, Mazuba Monze, has presented her credentials to President Cyril Ramaphosa, formally accrediting her as Zambia's High Commissioner to that country. During the ceremony held at the Sefako Magatho residential guest house in Pretoria, South Africa, President Ramaphosa said South Africa and Zambia have enjoyed decades of friendship and that relations between the two countries are stronger. President Ramaphosa congratulated Ms. Monze for being appointed Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa and wished her success in the execution of her duties and responsibilities as Zambia's envoy to that country. And Ms. Monze has pledged to work towards strengthening the historical bilateral relations between the two countries and has reiterated her commitment towards enhancing mutual cooperation and understanding. And Ms. Monze has stated that President Hakainde Hichilema looks forward to maintaining and enhancing bilateral relations based on mutual values, economic development, and shared interests between the two countries. This is contained in a statement issued by Tamara Nyirenda, First Secretary for Press and Public Relations at the Zambian High Commission in South Africa. PF Kanchiria Member of Parliament Sunday Chanda says the increase in the Constituency Development Fund allocation in the proposed 2024 national budget is a game changer, especially that he has prioritized development over politics. Mr. Chanda says the 2024 national budget has not only given a sense of hope to citizens, but also spoken to the realities and economic challenges the country is facing. He is happy that the budget has further responded favorably to the motion he moved recently in which he urged the government to improve the conditions of service for the councillors by increasing allocation towards equalization funds. Mr. Chanda says this means that councillors across the country will be entitled to better conditions of service.
This is a budget that every councillor across the country must be able to celebrate. Secondly, the increment around the CDF is a welcome move, it's a game changer. And those of us from rural constituencies, and country in particular, we have elected to choose development over politics. And so the 2 million increment is monumental in the sense that what was not there will now be there.
In other stories trending this evening, Members of the opposition political parties have called for a national indaba involving various stakeholders with capacity to offer solutions to issues affecting the nation. Investigating findings of the Likili bus service recent accidents by the Road Transport and Safety Agency have revealed that the operator had lacked of practical fleet safety management culture among management and employees. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Center for Trade Policy and Development, CTPD, has urged the government to strictly adhere to its annual borrowing plan for 2024 national budget. Analyzing the recent proposed 2024 national budget, CTPD Acting Executive Director Natalie Kaunda notes that while the Public Debt Management Act No. 15 of 2022 provides the establishment of a sinking fund, its operationalization is unclear in the 2024 national budget. Ms. Kaunda adds that though the budgetary allocation for dismantling arrears has remained same, government has demonstrated commitment to unlocking liquidity in the economy, which is key in promoting the growth of the private sector. She has also called on the government to outline a clear strategy for the development and utilization of minerals in the country as it intends to operationalize the Mineral Regulation Commission.
There is still need to accelerate the finalization of discussions on restructuring the country's private debt, including Eurobonds. Additionally, there is need for governments to ensure strict adherence to the annual borrowing plan of 2024. We have also noted that while the Public Debt Management Act No. 15 of 2022 provides for the establishment of a sinking fund, its operationalization in the 2024 national budget remains unclear.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now on foreign news. A Kenyan hospital employee who was caught by the BBC selling a baby on the black market has been sentenced to 25 years in jail. Fred Leparan, who worked at Nairobi's Mama Lucy Kabiki Hospital, was filmed accepting $2,500 to sell a baby boy under the hospital's care. He was arrested in 2020 following a BBC Africa Eye investigation and found him guilty last month of child trafficking, child neglect, and conspiracy to commit crime. Here's a roundup from the BBC.
EU member states meeting in Brussels have reached a final deal on how to handle asylum seekers and irregular migrants. It seeks to relieve the pressure on countries such as Italy and Greece, which currently receive the vast majority of migrants. Pope Francis has warned that the world is collapsing because of climate change and that political leaders are failing to address the threat. The warning is contained in a paper issued at a Catholic summit in the Vatican. This year's Nobel Prize for Chemistry has been awarded to 3 US-based scientists. Munji Bowendi, Louis Bruce, and Alexei won for their groundbreaking discoveries in the field of quantum dots. Taliban government in Afghanistan says Pakistan's threat to expel all undocumented Afghan migrants is unacceptable and has urged Islamabad to reconsider. On Tuesday, Pakistan said all Afghans who were there illegally must leave by the end of this month or face deportation.
And finally, in sports news, the 2030 World Cup will be held across 6 countries in 3 continents, FIFA has confirmed. Spain, Portugal, and Morocco have been named as the co-hosts, with the opening 3 matches taking place in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay. The opening matches in South America are to mark the World Cup's centenary, as it will be 100 years since the inaugural tournament in Montevideo. The decision is set to be ratified at a FIFA Congress next year. FIFA also confirmed only bids from countries from the Asian Football Federation and the Oceania Football Federation will be considered for the 2034 finals. Saudi Arabia is expected to bid to host the tournament in 2034 for the first time. And now the weather report brought to you by Classicon.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening will be mainly clear, windy at times, and warm to mild. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that item brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. "11-month-old baby dies in an inferno." No Zambians are among the casualties in Morocco earthquake. Kenyan baby stealer jailed for 25 years after BBC expose. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith MWAPE. Good evening.